Hey everyone, welcome back to the Phantom Wealth. I started this channel to talk about my personal finance stories. And what better way than to play some of my favorite video games while talking to you? I hit a $1 million net worth by 29, and just to be clear, this isn't to flex. My goal is just to motivate you and show you what's possible, especially if you're just getting started. Today, I want to talk to you about how I went from zero to my first 100,000. The first 100,000 is the hardest, but once you hit it, things get exponentially easier because now you've got an army of dollars working for you, compounding every day. And what I mean by compounding is basically money, and the money that makes money, and so on. Just a quick disclaimer before we begin, I am not a financial advisor. Everything here is based off of my personal experience. So always do your own research before investing. I started my career in 2016 making $60,000 a year. Now, luckily, I didn't have any student loans, but I did make a big mistake early on and bought a brand new car. With insurance, that came out to around $600 to $700 monthly. My rent was also another $700 a month. I was living in a tiny studio apartment that barely had anything working. I'm talking there was mold in the shower and mouse traps in the kitchen. I decided to stick with it because my thoughts at the time were sacrifice now and move to a nicer place later. Guys, becoming rich is a game. It involves strategy, patience, discipline. By staying in that studio, I was able to save about $1,000 a month. That was my strategy and patience. I also made it a point to contribute to my 401, especially whenever I was getting a bonus. So after a few months of saving, I started investing. And at first my goal really wasn't to pay for vacations, upgrade my car, or take my girlfriend out to expensive restaurants. It was really to get an army of money going so if I ever needed, for example, $300 for something quickly, the account could give me that and still grow and make up for it. So by sticking to it, I eventually grew that account to $13,000. I didn't know much at first. I just sort of picked the companies I liked and slowly built up my portfolio that way. I found an old screenshot showing some of my early picks, and it's funny to me how I can see the way I used to invest around that time. That's not to say that they're bad or good. I still have some of these. It's just I moved on to different companies and different ETFs. And so every raise and bonus, I threw more money in. When my car loan was eventually paid off, another $450 went straight into my Roth IRA monthly. And once I started learning how to sell options, I reinvested every bit of that premium income too. So, for example, if I made $400 a month from options, I didn't touch it. I just added to the account. When I discovered selling options, it basically became another source of income for me, along with my job and dividends. And all of those different types of incomes I received, I just kept reinvesting it. And so over time, things really started to snowball. My account was growing fast, and it was starting to make money even when I was sleeping. The income from the market was up and down, but majority of the time it was still coming in. My 401k was getting the match and compounding. By 2019, my taxable brokerage account was worth around 50,000. My 401k had grown to about 40k, and my Roth IRA was sitting around $10,000. And that's how I got to $100,000 in net worth. I remember I was so excited when I had hit six figures, and from there, things really took off. I hadn't inflated my lifestyle, I was still living cheaply. In fact, I even eventually stopped taking my bonuses as cash and directed the whole thing into my 401, especially since it was getting taxed so heavily. And even the stimulus checks in 2020 that many of us got from the government, I put that into the market too. I wanted every dollar working for me. And guys, I know that there's more to life than just investing every dollar I could. But that's exactly why I kept investing, so I could eventually focus on those other things in life and not feel so stressed out about money later. I mean, now thinking back, I was very laser focused. I didn't even have an emergency fund for the longest time. My checking account usually just had enough for the bills. Everything else went straight into investments. Now, of course, that all changed when I got married. And to be honest with you, I shouldn't have let it go that long. Having an emergency fund is so important. If I had to do it again, I'd make sure that that would come first. And guys, as you can see, this is not something that happens overnight. Getting to your first 100,000 is definitely hard and takes a lot of time, but it's not impossible. It was just consistency, low expenses, and staying committed. Thanks, guys, for listening. And if this helped you, definitely drop a like and consider subscribing. I'm here to share more stories and lessons from my financial journey. I'd love to have you guys along for the ride, and I'll see you guys in the next video.